Hi, this is Law Unfiltered. I'm Celine, and together with me here today we have YB Prakash.
Hey, hi. Hi,
He's
Celine. How are
he.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. YB Prakash is a managing partner in Mrs. Prakash and Partners, and he has been elected as Adun for Kota Kemuning.
That's right. That was in the year 2023, August. But I still actively practicing at the moment. I've been practicing for I would say about 16 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a very long time.
it's
Yeah.
quite old, isn't it?
No, no, you still look very young. Anyways, today, thank you for coming and join us today for our very first episode for Law Unfiltered. And today we are going to talk about a very serious topic, which I believe everyone here is most concerned about. What happens when a child commits an offense? And in fact, how far does the law goes when the offender is a child? And in light of the recent events, which I believe most of us are aware of, where a 14 years old has recently been charged for murder of for fatally stabbing a 16 years old schoolmate. On another incident in Alogaja, another two students were charged for the offense of rape, gang rape, in fact. And the trial is going on at the moment. So, in light of the current juvenile delinquencies that is happening, I believe we should enlighten the public of the law. What are the procedures when it comes to uh, child offenders, and what are the things that we may be able to do to prevent things like that from happening again?
Yeah.
Right.
I think when it comes to child, it's a very um, way that we have to uh, deal with them, because you must understand when they're child below 18. I think the definitions is in the Child's Act, uh, where they have a certain requirement or procedures that has to be followed in order for us to handle them, especially when it comes to investigation. Also, there will be a method that they will be adopted for purpose of investigation. And when it comes to court, this proceeding will be done in camera. We call proceeding in camera. So because we want to protect the identity of the child, and also to ensure that the child are not uh, exposed to parties in terms of whether to misuse their name and all that. So normally you can see there's two part here. Either the victim is child or the accused is child.
Yes. Yeah.
So in the cases of some bully cases where we can see, for example, in Zara's case in
Yes.
Sabah,
Yeah.
the victims are child. I think she's about 16 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
16 years
even
old. Yeah.
even the child, the other accused, also they are categorized as a child.
Correct. Yeah.
So then both parties has to be both parties. So the process is the court will proceed in camera,
Mhm.
and then the witnesses who are going to give evidence, they also a procedure that under Child's Act
Yeah.
that we have to follow.
Right. And for children, they will not be tried before an adult court, like for example, like every other criminal courts where adults will be tried. They will in fact be tried before the court for children, which will consist of one magistrate with two advisors. Right.
Okay. In fact, today nowadays what happened is we have a special court for child.
Mhm.
In fact, that has been established during I think the year of 2000, uh, 2020, 2015, I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So then we have a special court where we cater a special room for the child
Mm.
for them to give evidence.
Mm.
Yes, what you said is correct. The child are not or will not be uh,
Tried.
tried
Yeah.
before adult court. And that's why we said it's camera in proceeding,
Mm.
yeah, proceeding in camera, um, where we asked all the lawyers or whoever parties are not involved to be step out
To
from the
step
court,
out.
right?
Yes. Many events I think that has happened to us before. Yes. But I think what many has been asking in fact is how will the child be sentenced? Can a child be sentenced with death penalty? I believe the answer is very clear under the law. The child cannot be sentenced with the death penalty. In fact, it will be substituted with imprisonment at the pleasure of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, depending on how long the imprisonment term would be. And that only happens if the charge is punishable by death, right?
That's right. When a child committed offense such as murder, then a trial will be conducted, but the sentence will not be a sentence comes under the penal code,
Mm.
but it will comes under the pleasure of the king,
Yes.
because a child have a specific provision which is protects them to be impose the death penalty or life imprisonment. So they will be under the pleasure of the king.
Mm-hmm.
Then the king will decide when they have assessed the status or the condition of the child
Mm-hmm.
at the time when they are fit to be released back to the society.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you see, there's a process here. I think the famous case on this is the case of Kaur. I think
Mhm.
this was argued by late Mr. Kapal
Yeah.
in the federal court, whether how the court should determine the time period to be defined for purpose of imposing a sentence under the pleasure of the king.
Mhm.
When is the period?
Mm.
If, for example, you take life imprisonment,
Yeah.
you know it's 30 years.
Yes.
It's defined.
Yeah.
But at the pleasure of king, then when is the child will be released?
Okay.
This is a question that
We have to
we
ask
have to
ourselves.
ask ourselves. When I think it's all depends on the assess of medical doctors
Mhm.
and psychologists
Mhm.
of the child,
Mhm.
whether the child is fit to be released in the society.
Yeah.
And with that advice, it will bring to the pardon of
The king.
the king
Yeah.
to consider.
I see.
Yeah.
But other than sentencing on death sentences, which is to be substituted with life with imprisonment, another sort of sentencing that can be imposed on the child. I would not say sentencing, but in a punishable punishment for the child is sending them to Henry Gurney School or Sekolah Akhlak, which we call as
Yeah.
what?
It's a more a rehabilitation center.
Yes.
So this is because I think for child, I think we have taken the approach that we have to rehabilitate them.
Correct.
Because you see, before a child, if for instance, if the child is giving evidence in court,
Mm-hmm.
there's an assessment that we have to do for a judge to do on a matter of them to assess whether this child is fit to give evidence or not.
Yes,
Understand
correct.
what is going on in court,
Yeah.
whether they are fit to give evidence. So then that is assessment that they have to do in order for the child to give sworn or unsworn evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Then, in the cases of a child is an accused, then they will see whether the child understand
The
what
charge.
the charge and what are the consequences of the charge, everything. So then, for cases in this kind of nature, where the court will take an advice from the
Probation
probations
officer.
officer, where they will prepare a probation's report
Correct.
in order for them to assist the court on the condition and mental state of the child, looking at the surrounding of the child's lifestyles actually.
Yeah. In fact, I've seen a few cases where the court has considered not only from the probation report, what has the probation officer viewed from the child, but also in terms of family background, financial issues, and so forth.
That's right.
Yeah. And also, before the court can decide to send this child to a rehabilitation center or Henry Gurney School, there's one thing that we have to focus on is the age.
Yes.
Under the Child Act, anyone who is below 10 years old cannot be sent to a rehabilitation center or Henry Gurney School. In fact, child offenders above 10 years old can be sent to a rehabilitation center only. And that also we have to consider from the probation report to see how long should we rehabilitate this child and so forth. But when it comes to a child who is 14 years old and above, they have to be sent to a Henry Gurney school.
Mm.
And in fact, if the court finds that look, this child, if he's being sent to Henry Gurney School, it may not rehabilitate this child. If there is no other option, then the child will only imprison. The court will only imprison this child.
Indeed. You see, what happened is under our law, when the child attained 14, then the court may order a child to be sent to a Henry Gurney school. Henry Gurney school.
Mhm.
But that also warrant a recommendation from probations officer.
Mhm.
So they have to assess every single step, or rather every single time when the child is ready to face this kind of imposition of sentences as well. Then again, why normally in criminal matters, when a person first time committing offense, if they go to prison, why that they will become even hardened criminals?
Oh, yes.
Because they are
Associated with even
with
more
criminals.
criminals. Yeah.
So that's why children, we are trying to make sure that
Rehabilitate their
rehabilitate
behavior.
and we treat them.
Yes. Yeah.
We retreat them, because I strongly believe when there's a child commit offense, that means it's actually a social responsibility for all of us in terms of the community,
Mhm.
the parents,
Mhm.
and also the society itself,
Mhm.
where we let the child to a stage where to commit an offense
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah.
So everyone has to take a responsibility in this and ensure that the child is back to a normal life by retreat and or rehabilitate them. You see, because you must understand at this age, they are very much influenced in many other things.
Correct.
The surrounding, the parents,
Social
and then
media.
social medias and all that. You
Yes.
see, this is something that always they are try to, they are like a sponge, you see, they absorb what they see.
Yeah.
So we have to always be vigilant, be monitoring, monitor their act, so they always in the right path. That's why it's very important actually,
Yes.
especially to parents, teachers, and even the society itself. If they find something that changes the boy or any person, any children, a child, we have to make sure that we address it as soon as possible.
Yes. In fact, we're going to sidetrack a bit. An article was written to compare with Iceland. In Iceland, a program has been started for because there is a lot of misuse of substances among the minors. So there is this program called Icelandic Prevention Model, where the government has come up with a few activities that can be carried out with the neighbors and parents and the child together, so that the child has a sense of like, oh, knowing, okay, so we have like a group of people that we can hang out with and so forth. I will link the article down below. And then, other than creating programs as a whole with everybody, the society, another step that they have taken under the program itself is kids are not allowed to leave home unsupervised after 10 p.m. If I'm not mistaken. Again, I will link the article down below. So I think these are the steps that perhaps we can take as well to counter these issues among the minors.
Do you know we have a provision under the Child's Act
Yeah.
where if a parent or guardian
Mm-hmm.
anytime left a child without a supervision is an
Mm.
offense. In
Yes.
fact, the court, the act says, if they found liable,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the conviction be liable to fine
Mm-hmm.
not exceeding 5,000 ringgit or imprisonment for the terms not exceeding 2 years or both. So, in fact, there is an offense.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, how many of the parents are aware about this?
Yeah, perhaps I believe not many. Maybe my parents don't even know about this.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. It's enforcement as well.
Yes.
So I think message has to be sent out
Mm-hmm.
to ensure every child are properly supervised
Mm-hmm.
by the parents, and also the teachers or whoever have a control over them to ensure that the child are not influenced by anything. Nowadays, as what you said, social media become a big threat in terms of a change of the culture, or rather the act of a child. Um, I give you an example. If you go to Netflix, you
Mm-hmm.
watch this documentary called Social Dilemma,
Mm-hmm.
then you will realize how a social media will bring, or rather plays a very pertinent role in every decision that you make. So this are very um, shocking, and also it's alarming,
Mm-hmm.
where a child, if so much influenced by social media or games, especially
PUBG, Counter
PUBG,
Strike.
that's right, and then
Yes.
there's so many other violent
Yes. Yeah.
games
Yeah.
that become
What
part.
what child would think is
That's
normal?
right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So we have to be very, very careful on this.
Yes.
That's why a religious class or talk about them. I mean, bring them together, outing, and talk about good
Yes.
values are very, very
Yes.
important.
Yes, correct. And in fact, when just now, YB, you mentioned about psychological education and so forth, another article I've read has discussed about the system that's being practiced in Henry Gurney School. Is it enough? As of now, Henry Gurney School is practicing this model. It's called the Putra model. Okay, but the primary treatment is of course to rehabilitate juveniles, and it has four stages. Okay, so the first stages is a orientation program focusing on strengthening discipline. Then we have second stage, which is the character reinforcement, which is for religious studies. And then comes to the third one, vocational training, giving them training skills, practical training. They have like different workshops to do different things. Okay. And then it comes to community program, where the juvenile will be given opportunity to interact with families. This is so that they know how to act when they go back to society again. Now, the author has asked, is it do we have to now include as well psychological programs as well? Because as of now, we believe that uh, psychology is one of a very big issue that we should consider.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I agree with the author as well. I think counseling by assessing the psychological condition of the child are very, very important. And then
Mhm.
nowadays, I think on that note, I think we have to give the credit to uh, Minister Hinayo, because she has introduced a new program under Rakan Muda
Mhm.
in terms of the counseling.
Yes.
I think this is something that we have to welcome. And in addition to that, I think the school also, the Minister of Education are looking into uh, a mechanism how we can identify and address the issue of bullying.
Mm.
I think this is something that very rampant nowadays that we can
Yes.
see it's happening.
Yes.
So we have to come back uh, to understand what was the actual cause of the problem. I think the Prime Minister recently has also said whether we should introduce caning to discipline.
I
was
believe maybe you would agree
I
with it.
I mean, in fact, when we're naughty, our parents used to cane us. Those
Mhm.
days, teachers used to cane us.
Mhm.
All right. Now, maybe the perception is we are uh,
Too
too
protective.
pampering, too
Yeah.
protecting our child,
Mhm. Mhm.
and makes them more spoiled.
Uh-huh.
Again, caning, it cannot be unnecessary. It
Yeah.
has to be for purpose of a discipline.
Yes.
I think that has to come because what that will show is, or rather, that will bring is the child will know how to behave
Mhm.
when the punishment is going to be a
As
different.
such.
Yeah, that's right. So therefore, I think it's all right. We can introduce and we can always monitor whether that gonna work in terms
Yes.
of reducing
Mhm.
um, the issues of bully, issue of a crime that
Mhm.
happens among the children.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that not only the law is plays a part when it comes to child offenders. I believe everyone in the society as a whole bears a particular responsibility in this. What about parents' liabilities?
Yes, it's a very good topic actually. Some countries or some authors or researchers has come out and say that when a child commits an offense,
Mm-hmm.
then a parent should be liable for the cost of that. But again, if you look at our provisions,
Yes, just now the section 33.
how far the supervision has to be.
Yes.
So it's not clearly defined actually. If it happened somewhere outside of their control,
Mm-hmm.
is the parent still liable? So these are something that we have to look into it has more, or rather, we have to do a more detailed
Mm-hmm.
research
Mm.
and survey how we can make sure that everyone has to take a
Correct.
responsibility at
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
when the child has committed an offense
Yes.
or have been neglected for some reason as well. We can see if the child was abused, a parents who neglect or allow the abuse to be continued is also an offense.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
how far that the parents can be liable on this?
Mm-hmm.
So, these are something that we have to look at it very seriously as well.
Mm.
Why this is important is at the same time we are imposing liability on the parents. The parents become more vigilant in terms of
Yes.
taking a responsibility
Make
of the conduct of the child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, I believe most parents are also very busy with work, with giving the living lifestyles that we have right now. Maybe they have lesser time to supervise their child. I think I live in the generation where both my parents are working, and I don't think I hardly see my parents sometimes on weekdays going to school, then going to tuition, come back 10 p.m., sleep, next day go to school.
Correct.
Yeah.
Say this is something that we are now facing in this generation
Yeah.
because there's not much of attention given,
Mm.
and we are more focused on pushing the child to make sure that they
Excel.
excel in
Yeah,
their
correct. Yeah.
education,
Yes. Every
in their
in every
career, and
area.
every
Yes.
area.
Yeah.
But again, this is where I think the government and also the parents has to draw a balance
Mm-hmm.
where while they are striving to get the stability of financial stability for the family,
Mm-hmm.
they also have to make sure that equal attention is given to
Mm-hmm.
the welfare of the child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's where we have to look at it. What kind of incentive that the
Mm.
government can give
Yeah.
the parents who
Yeah.
brings the child out for a weekend,
Yeah.
for holiday. So how that can be incentivized.
Yeah.
These are something that we can look at it, and
Yes.
I think most important is now is how we can draw a balance. That's most important. I understand financial stability is important
Important. Yes.
to cater food,
A better
home,
lifestyle for
and
the
everything for
family.
the
Yeah.
family. But at the
Yes.
same time, what is the point of us running towards there when our family itself will be neglected or maybe
Yeah.
not?
Correct.
So So that's why it's very, very important.
I think we've established enough that even though the law is significantly sufficient when it comes to child offenders, I think most of the biggest question here is what can we do as a society in a whole when it comes to knowing that a child has committed a crime. So YB, did you previously have any experience to comes to child offenders?
Yes, I can't name about
Of,
the case or
of
facts of the
yes.
case, but we do have, I do have acted for some of the child who have committed an offense. At the same time, also defend for a victim uh, who was the been what do you call assaulted by a person. So in these cases, I think we have to be, as a lawyer, as a judge, and as a public prosecutor, we have to be more careful in dealing with child,
Yes.
because a step which we take might emotionally affect them. And nowadays, I think the court have come up with a special room, especially for the victim, where the child have more conducive place where they are very comfortable to give evidence. In fact, their identity will be
Protected.
protected.
Yeah.
So the child is not as if like in court, taking a stand in the dock and giving evidence, being very, very shaken and all that. So now what happened is the court has looked at it, a place where the child is giving evidence on the basis of a common, like a normal chat. So that part of evidence can be admissible, because this is very, very, very hard for us to understand the child
Yeah.
when they were under pressure.
Yes.
All
I
right.
believe
So that
we have a pretty good law in terms of procedure and sentencing when it comes to child offender. In fact, Child Act is really I would say what is the word
is cater especially for the child,
yeah,
and also to
it's
protect,
equipped, yeah, equipped to
protects
protect,
in
yeah.
every single stage for the child, especially
Yes, yeah,
in terms of a court
yeah,
proceeding. How do you define who's supposed to take care of the child,
yeah.
and what the
Rehabilitation
detention center
matter,
has to
yeah,
be,
correct.
how it has to be gazetted,
Mm-hmm.
and subsequently who has the power to decide whether this is the place that the child to be
Guide them
there and all
again,
that.
yeah. So because the focus here is really not about punishing them, but more on focusing on the guiding and to rehabilitate their behavior
That's right.
so that they can go back to society and be responsible and be useful for the society
Yes.
again. Because I believe the act or the parliament, in fact, when drafting the Child Act, understands that it is of public interest to have a child who can later on be useful and be responsible for the society instead of just punishing them for what they have done, which they might not even understand.
Correct.
So, yeah,
That's the most important now.
yeah.
You see, that's what I said just now,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you also have confirmed that at the point at this point, what we are trying, I mean, the act is provides for a child
Mm-hmm.
is more to not to punish them,
Mm-hmm.
but in fact to punish them in the way of rehabilitation
Yeah.
and retreat them,
Mm-hmm.
and also to monitor
Mm.
and to bring them back
Yeah.
to a normal society,
Yeah.
to know what is good and bad,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then for them also to understand what they have done is wrong.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's all. I believe, I hope that this episode has provided sufficient information, public awareness to every one of you. As here in Law Unfiltered, we strive to provide public awareness and so that everybody knows a little bit about the law. At least we understand what's going on, how things would go on from now on.
And thank you very much, Celine. It's a very good attempt. I wish you all the best. I
Thank
believe
you.
this is your
Thank
first
you.
episode
Yeah,
of Law
yeah.
Episode. Now
I hope so.
and keep going.
Yes.
And I think awareness among the society and to the people is very, very important.
Yeah.
I think it's a noble intentions of you
Oh.
to come out and to explain this to the people.
Yeah.
And hope it reaches to
More people.
more people. And
Yeah.
a lot of likes. Please subscribe her websites and all, YouTube. And,
Spotify,
all our social
Spotify.
medias, Spotify, everything. Please, I think this is a very good attempt. And
Thank you very
keep
much.
going,
Thank you.
And then we hope to see you in another chapter with you. Thank you.
Yes, you will. You will. Thank you very much for being here, Wabi.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.